Talk to us about the Golden Grams,
Golden era.
Spencer.
All right, my game is Golden Sun. It was released in 2001.
You
It's the
sound
first one.
like you're like a kid giving like a book report
Yeah.
in front of the class.
Golden Sun is a good game on the Game Boy Advance. It was an early RPG that truly proved what the Game Boy Advance was capable of. I really like this game. It's it's made by Camelot, and you would think in like an early attempt at an RPG on the Game Boy Advance, it would be more of like a trial, like more of like think of like Breath of Fire, like the first Breath of Fire is just like a really generic, in my opinion, not great RPG. Yeah, yeah. Teddy just had like a hot tamale or something, so
Air
that's
breath.
Breath of Fire.
It's like Kirby.
Lightning might be striking Alex. Then. So, with Golden Sun, it's surprisingly great. It looks really really good. The plot is actually fairly interesting, and the graphics are mind-bogglingly good. Like they did like a this interesting perspective that emulates like 3D, so it feels real. It feels like you're in the fight. There's just a lot about this game to love, and I played it when I was in high school, and I appreciated it then too. I remember liking it, but I played it recently as well, and was really just blown away by how ahead of their time they were when they made Golden Sun. It's really not average at all in any aspect. The leveling up system you apply with these djinns. They're these spirits, and they have different elements and different stats that change the way your character functions. So like you could turn any character into any other kind of character, although each character has their strengths, so you should probably play to those. But it changes their magic around. It actually has different ways of applying area of effect spells. So like in a lot of games, you'll just have a move like Thunder All, which will hit all enemies with thunder. Well, in this game, it has a thunder that can hit all enemies, or at least most enemies usually. But it has different scales of where the strong points will be. So like if it hits 3 enemies, it might be a triangle. So the middle one will be the strongest hit, and the side 2 will be weaker hits. It's really, really cool and just really impressive the different ways they were able to mix that up to make combat interesting and make all the characters feel different and customizable at the same time. It also uses the magic in the game, which is called synergy. It uses it as a puzzle element to get through the game. So like you can push things with this push spell, or you can use frost to make things pillars. There's all these different ways that they utilize magic that makes dungeon crawling a lot more interesting and makes exploration. It gives it like a Zelda feel almost, where you have to, once you get new spells, you can manipulate the environment and have different ways to get around. Really, really impressive game. It's odd that it doesn't have more to it. Like it has like 2 sequels, I think, and it's just odd that it never blew up any bigger, because it's up there. It's competitive with any RPG series I've ever seen. So odd and a disappointment that there's not more of it.
I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I'm
mention
surprised they
Shining
didn't.
Force, because Shining Force. Thank you.
Yeah.
Camelot.
I
I
like
know more about this
I like 2.
triangle system. Can you tell me about the triangle strategy?
There's
Project Triangle.
a lot of talking. A lot of talking.
Is that a real time system?
No, it's turn based.
How does that work? The square triangle thing?
Square triangle?
You say like there's like squares or triangles appearing on screen or something?
No, well, no. So, so if you get a spell, like we'll say lightning, right? It'll show you a little diagram of how the damage plays out,
I have thunder.
and so, so if okay, I'm trying to do it with my with my hand, right? It'll show something like that. So what that implies is that this one will do the most damage, and this one will do less, and this one will do less. So if you put this on the middle enemy, the ones to the side will take less damage, etc. It's just like a way of expressing how much damage will be caused.
Pokemon does a similar thing when you look at like the walkthroughs where it's like circle is like a super effective and triangle's like a not very effective. Like there's null. Is it comparable to that?
No, it's completely different because it's referring to like if you do damage to multiple enemies. So like,
Residual damage.
yeah, so like if you have like 5 enemies that you're up against, right? It'll tell you if you position the spell on the middle one, it'll do damage to the ones to the side, and it'll do like reduced damage to them, but it'll tell you in a graph how much damage that'll be.
Okay.
And it's not always like it can change. It can be even all the way across. It can be high on the sides and go down. It just depends on the spell.
When you're doing the triangle, do you all vote on what you're going to do next?
What the fuck? I don't know. Do you all vote?
Project Triangle.
Is that the strategy?
That's the strategy.
Is it made by Square Enix?
Well, it's made by Camelot. And they made Shining Force and Mario Golf.
Does that have golfing segments?
Yeah.
I think Shining Force 1 is like unplayable, but 2 is
Shut up.
2
Stop,
is pretty good.
Spencer. Get outta
2
here.
is a pretty good game. I tried playing the third one and I just didn't get very far. It's probably good though.
Stop it.
They say you can't emulate on the Saturn. I disagree. I think you
Stop
can.
talking about the first Shining Force like that.
It's really
Are you
bad.
considering a Golden Sun archive?
Oh god,
Play
don't
the
get,
Your channel RPG archive?
Play the Game Gear ones, but okay.
don't get me started. Yes. That's
Okay.
on the table. Someone else wants
What
to
table?
finish that game.
Whose table?
It's just on the
Full of
table.
ranking.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But no, I'd love to.
Right.
Be fun to do that
That
one.
was great.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.